Welcome to Slow Home Studio. Too many people live in badly designed houses, and we want to change that.
Today is Tuesday, June 7th, and I have to say welcome back. It's
Thank
nice
you.
to have you back. I missed you while you were away.
I've been watching, and everything looked like it was going just fine.
Yeah, I still missed you.
Well, that's nice. I appreciate that. I was in Vancouver doing the Laneway House, and then I actually went to Helsinki to give a lecture, and I've got some interesting things to show you in the coming weeks from my stop-off in Amsterdam. We went and saw some very cool new development types, and I want to show that in a
Sounds
little while.
great.
But today we're looking at the Laneway House Design Project.
Yes, and we've had lots of comments on the site, and by the time we went to film this, we had 3 submissions of projects. We're going to have more coming later in the week, so we'll talk about that at the end, but I thought we should spend a few minutes and look at what people have submitted to date. So this was the design brief that we posted, and of course it was to redevelop a 600 square foot garage in the back of a house. And we had to work with a 24 by 24 footprint, and we had to put back 1 parking space. So that was the mandate.
Right.
And out of the 3 schemes we got, they were all very interesting.
So this is the first one, submitted by Nicole. It's actually reversed, but that's okay. It doesn't make any difference.
Yep, so you can see what she did. She had the parking right next to the existing garage, and then that set up an entry, a way to get into the main site of the house, which was one of the mandates. Then she had an outdoor room here behind the parking, which made sense. And then, of course, this became the Laneway House. And this
I do have to say just that I really appreciate the fact that there's been some attention given to not just the house itself, the interior, but also the outside space and how you get to that other house.
I think she has a really well-developed scheme that uses the site. I mean, I think that was really well done. You can tell the way that she's rendered it, that she's really been thinking about the surfaces of the material. She's been thinking about the quality of the room. It's really nice. And I think her floor plan is very effective. It's very simple. She's got the bedroom and the bathroom and the service spaces as a block at the back, and then that leaves the kitchen, living, dining as one big space that's oriented towards the outdoor room, and then she has the entry as this passageway from the alley.
You know, and I think it's also interesting because when I was in Vancouver looking at the Laneway housing, it was obviously an issue of privacy for both the front and the back, because you have to be careful with that. And they had an outside space that looked onto the side, and I think that Nicole did a nice job of following along like that.
It's really interesting because I studied the Laneway house plans, and they had the bathroom on the lane side, but they had a clear story window.
Yes.
They had a high window. And so my only question would be about the location of that window for the bedroom, and the fact that you really don't have very much. There's hard, I mean, she's planted that, but it's very close to the alley side. And so that would be a question about whether that window, you know, how big it would be, what the quality of it would be in terms of the room. And so these were her elevations that she did. I'm very happy that she included those. This is Catherine Tenay's. And Catherine Tenay is a long-term viewer.
Yeah, it's been a while, Catherine.
We're very happy that she did a post. So she's got her parking space on the far side, and then she has created this actually as her entry forecourt. And then she is using the mature tree on the south side as this is her outdoor room. So she's actually using some of the space between the 2 houses.
Right, which if you can negotiate that with the owner of the house, then that's a good thing to do. Otherwise it can get a little bit tough. I think the interior is working fine. I'm not sure about the particular layout of the bathroom or the kitchen and coming in and seeing the sink like that, but generally speaking,
I think this is very efficient. Again, the bedroom placement, again, I'm questioning that. I'm very interested to see what other people come up with, because I really think the service space along the lane side, it makes a lot of sense. The bedroom, in terms of the window, might be an issue. And this is SN, so SN blew everybody away by doing very, very beautiful drawings.
As he always does.
Yeah, and he said in his commentary that he's going outside of the box, and he was actually going to obliterate the 24 by 24 footprint, and he was going to keep 600 square feet, but he was going to change the proportion of it and move it, because he made this big argument that, you know, he has to do footings and all this sort of stuff. So, okay. All right, interesting what he did with this wall. We'll see it in the rendering. He created a barrier between the lane and the outdoor space.
Yeah, I like it.
And then there's an anti-space here, and then this block was actually service plus the barbecue, and he had his parking then plus room for another tandem parking, and then he used the zone around the house as his outdoor space to look at as well as inhabit. So this is the alley side. So again, privacy and then light through the top, which is a nice idea, concrete wall. And this was his view from the house to the Laneway house, where he's demarked the sort of outside zone with the sort of gravel border, which I think is really interesting.
And I mean, this is one where you really have to be pretty close friends with the people in the house, because
you are
it really is about that. But you know, again, I know from the conversations that I had in Vancouver that a lot of times these are adult children or their older parents that are living here. There's someone that's related, and it's not necessary. So this kind of situation can be done. I think it's a very nice plan. And as always, he does fabulous.
Yeah, very, and I love the little TV things he does on the inside. It's really good.
Right. So Matthew mentioned at the outset that we're going to be having some additional plans. We actually got an email from an instructor at the Art Institute of New York, the Department of Interior Design. His class is actually following along with the Slow Home Studio, and he has assigned this project as the final project. So by the end of the week, we're going to be getting 11 submissions from students from this program. We're going to be talking about them early next week. So if you still want to submit, feel free to do so, and we'll come back to this project in about a week.
See you tomorrow. If you're interested in learning more about the principles of slow home design, you can pick up a copy of our book entitled What's Wrong with This House? It's a practical guide to finding a well-designed and sustainable home. It's available for sale on the Slow Home Studio website. It's also available for sale at Amazon.com in both paperback and the Kindle format.